Comenzamos el bloque informativo en Extra News.
Let's go see the fake news and enjoy ourselves. Get a couple of nice questions. How are you? Who would like to ask a question?
Mr. President, on California, are you prepared to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Depends on whether or not there's an insurrection.
You think there is, sir?
No, but you have violent people, and we're not going to let them get away with it.
Do you think if Democrats continue to side with illegal aliens over law enforcement, that they'll ever be able to win a national election again?
I love this guy. I think that is the great. Who are you with?
Breitbart News.
Great. It's a great group. Breitbart. Great group. I think that you're going to see some very strong law and order.
CNN's Dana Bash suggesting that this wasn't a real riot in Los Angeles.
Is that what she said? I think it was a riot. I think it was very bad. It was covered really as a riot by almost everybody.
What is the purpose of your meetings at Camp David in the next 24 hours?
We're going up to Camp David. We have meetings with various people about very major subjects. So we thought we'd do it at Camp David. There's probably better security there than any place. We'll be meeting with a lot of people, including generals, as you know, and admirals. No. So we'll be meeting with military people and others.
Will there be any foreign visitors at Camp David?
Even if you don't plan to invoke the Insurrection Act, do you plan to send troops to Los Angeles?
What?
Even if you're not planning to invoke the Insurrection Act, you still plan to send troops?
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden and his auto pen.
What is the bar for sending Marines to
the bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order. It's about law and order.
Sending active Marines on the table, sir. Secretary Hegseth.
We're going to see what we need. We'll send whatever we need to make sure there's law and order.
Do you foresee those protests spreading to other cities, Chicago, New York, for example, in the next few days?
Yes, we're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, you know, they spit. That's their new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military, which they do as a common thing. They get up to them this far away, and then they start spitting in their face. That happens, they get hit very hard.
What are the rules of engagement?
We'll see what happens. If we think there's a serious insurrection or less than that, we're going to have law and order. Very important.
How would you define an insurrection?
You have to really just have to look at the site. You have to see what's happening. Last night in Los Angeles, we watched it very closely. There was a lot of violence there. There was a lot of violence, and it could have gotten much worse. And you have an incompetent governor. Just take a look at the train stations that he's building. Like 20 times over budget. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. So I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this. Otherwise, I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did. Thank you very much. You have a question for Marco? Question for Marco?
I was curious if California officials could face federal charges if they stand in the way of the deportation. Something that Holman may have suggested.
If they stand in the way of law and order, yeah, they will face charges. Thank you very much.
Right.
Suscríbete, dale clic a la campanita y a todas para seguir llevándote la información oportuna y poder enviarte un saludo personalizado de Extra News.
I would now like to recognize our witness, Secretary Lutnick. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Lutnick? For an opening statement.
Thank you.
Without objection, your written statement will be entered into the record, and we hope you can summarize in 5 minutes.
I'll do my best. Thank you, Chairman Rogers, Ranking Member Meng, and the members of the subcommittee. It is an honor for me to join you today. America is once again the most attractive destination for investment in the world. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Commerce is strengthening American industry, from the most popular to those industries that have been long ignored. We are focused on building in America and driving our economic growth, which will narrow the deficit, and we will deliver a new era of American innovation. Businesses are no longer looking overseas. They are choosing to invest in America first. Through the President's executive order establishing the Investment Accelerator in the Department of Commerce, we have already secured trillions of dollars of new commitments from world-class companies and sovereign wealth funds eager to build and invest in the United States. This surge in investment, paired with renewed commitment to fair and reciprocal trade, is reigniting Americans' manufacturing base. We are bringing car manufacturing back to Michigan and Ohio. We are reopening steel mills in Pennsylvania. And just last month, Arizona welcomed the largest semiconductor investment in the United States of America, thanks to an investment of TSMC. The first CHIPS deals that we are improving now have commitments more than doubling to $300 billion of investment in America. And that's without spending any more taxpayer dollars than those CHIPS funds that you've already approved. So our Commerce Department is driving substantial investments across America and benefiting the American taxpayers. Critically, the President's America First agenda goes beyond just economic growth and investment. The President is taking concrete actions to protect American workers and our national security. Under Section 232, the Commerce Department is conducting numerous investigations to protect, to reshore, and to revive manufacturing capacity across our critical industries here in America. The Trump administration is imposing tariffs and ending loopholes. In April, we ended the de minimis loophole, which allowed foreign companies to avoid paying tariffs on small shipments, which basically undercut American small business. New export controls are protecting cutting-edge technologies and finally protecting our critical industries and protecting American innovation. In fact, the Bureau of Industry and Security, working with our partners in the Department of Justice, we've secured 22 criminal convictions, 32 arrests, 38 indictments, 231 detentions, and seized more than $185.5 million. And then we did other types of seizures for another $40 million. Under this administration, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is tackling a mountain of unexamined patent applications left by the Biden administration, almost 800,000 unreviewed patents applications, successfully reducing the inventory backlog for the first time in 4 years. In the past 4 months alone, we have removed 50,000 fraudulent goods and services from the trademark register that block the use of legitimate products by American businesses. Many of these purported trademarks came from what they call specimen farms, that are fake websites displaying products that don't really exist. At NOAA, we are transforming how we track storms and forecast weather with cutting-edge technology. To improve the understanding and prediction of how hurricanes intensify, this season NOAA's research centers will deploy new small aircraft drone systems and additional underwater gliders. This year, the National Weather Service will be running an experimental AI-based forecast system, and all data we will make publicly available. Today, this commitment to innovation means earlier warnings and increased accuracy for Americans, no matter where they live. For far too long, Americans have been unfairly treated by foreign nations because we allowed them to take advantage of our markets to the detriment of our own industry and Americans. Thanks to President Trump and this administration's efforts, we are reversing this trend by reshoring critical manufacturing, eliminating unfair trade barriers and practices, and investing in our American workforce. With your help, we will deliver growth and prosperity across our great nation. I deeply appreciate you inviting me here today, and I look forward to answering your questions and talking together.
Muy pronto, vuelve a escuchar las noticias más relevantes en este canal de noticias.